What is going on, guys? Leather Socks here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if you're new. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed your weekend. Happy Sunday. We are about to get into an important week. One, because AMC made a massive move down. GameStop is about to make a massive move, and the S&P 500 has made a massive move up. And in today's video, we are going to be covering everything that is going to be happening this week, the key events that are going to affect the market, what I think personally is going to happen with AMC's chart, GameStop's chart, as well as the overall market, and then cover some data and some additional catalysts. So without further ado, please watch until the end of the video so you don't have to watch another update video here on YouTube. All I ask in return is please hit the like button. It's free, it helps me out, and it's one click of a button. Also, a lot of you guys keep coming back to my channel but don't subscribe, which doesn't help out anything. So join us on this journey to financial freedom. Let's get into the video. AMC was down 8% on Friday, and we covered AMC for the most part on Friday after the close, as well as the S&P 500, but I did some charting. As you can tell, my AMC chart looks completely different. I deleted all my drawings, I deleted the point of interest, and I kind of wanted to simplify everything out. And you might be wondering, what is the sequence that I have drawn out for you? Well, I have Heikin-Ashi candles on instead of candlesticks just to find the trend and when the trend plays out. I also have cycle lines driven out that perfectly map different lows of different cycles on AMC. Now, we are on the weekly time frame. I mapped out these cycles so that I can hold my shares but purchase calls at the exact right time every single time to be profitable on AMC, and I want to share this with you guys. Cycle 1 took 8 days before it peaked. Cycle 2 took 3 days, which of course we ran in January. Cycle 3 took 6 days, and then 7, and then 7, meaning if you purchase on this cycle date every single time, no matter what, you will have made money. Purchase calls, purchase shares, whatever, you would have made money. With that being said, we are coming up on that next period. When am I buying calls? December 4th. I'm buying calls on December 4th, and I could be wrong, but I want to test this theory out for myself. Now, we are also 4 weeks out from completing a cycle. What does that mean? How does this usually play out? 4 weeks out, we usually come up and then finish down at the end of a cycle, come up slightly, finish down, end of cycle. And usually you retest that low or get close. For example, the low was right here. We came up and we came close to retesting that low, but not quite, right? You could see, you could easily draw a trend line right here, as well as right here. Low down here, came up, got close, but it didn't wick down like it did back here. Same thing, came up, got close, but it didn't wick down. With that being said, I think AMC is in its scale up, sell down phase towards the end of this cycle. We see a high of $11.95 and a low of $7.08 likely, right? Give or take some change here and there. But I think we finish the cycle around December 4th around $7.10. Okay, so watch that level, $7.08, $7.10, which is the relative low on AMC. I think that is exactly where we finish the cycle, just like it plays out every single time. So we may curl up a little bit more to $11.70, $11.95, come back down into the cycle, add calls. It may scale up slightly or it may scale up a lot depending on the cycle, right? Either way, gonna collect some profits. Now, lottery stocks, how do you tell when to close these call options? Because there is no pattern in these sequences. I'm just gonna collect some profits and I'm gonna get out. It's not that serious. I'm not gonna hold for a long time. If I see barcoding, if I see low volume, I'm going to get out. Now, touching on some numbers before we start the week. 2.7 million shares available to borrow on AMC. Call to put ratio, we lost badly on the options chain last week. 2,000 compared to 35,000. Call to put ratio expiring in the money. So the gamma ramp is building to the downside, and there are a ton of people betting calls next week, which hopefully that premium doesn't go to market makers. But as of right now, where we stand on AMC, it does look like that's going to be the case. Also, they are bringing this thing down forcefully, okay? They're not just allowing it to run or allowing it to slightly fade off. They are forcefully pushing it down hard. You can tell by these short exempts, 1.1 million and then 519,000. As for GameStop, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. Trading at $12.54. I'm in puts currently. I do still hold my GameStop shares. I'm still in it for the long-term squeeze, yada, yada, yada. But I think it's coming down to $10.10, and the support is fading away. It's slowly fading away. Right here, the support is not strong, okay? And this is where GameStop's at. It had support all the way down, chopping, building support, breaking below, and now it's getting ready for that free fall because this support is weak here, okay? If we break below 1010, you could see GameStop coming into the 5s. Also, not to mention, GameStop is on a 20 red week streak, okay? At least for the Heikin-Ashi, based on the trend, right? Maybe not for candlestick pattern, but 20 weeks going straight red. GameStop, 550,000 shares available to borrow. And keep watching, guys, because we are about to touch on what hedge funds are doing to the market. No calls compared to 4,000 puts expiring in the money. More premium, probably going to be taken away by market makers next week. A lot of people are betting bullish on GameStop as well. Short exempt volume dropped to 840. I have not seen it this low. okay? Not even at 1,000 for GameStop on the 10th, and we still close red. This isn't a good thing to see at all, okay? That's not what you want to see. 800 short exempts, and we're still kind of, sideways, but in reality, there's just no volume. Now, anyone who thinks we're in a new bull market hasn't looked at weekly overtime hours, unemployment, or high yield corporate debt. The real economy is collapsing, and the last 3 recessions have been prior to an election. Now, I know very few of you guys get mad when I post trades about other stocks other than AMC, which I know you guys personally aren't subscribed to the channel if you're doing that, but the ones who are subscribed and who are in AMC, of course, it's time to make money on the sidelines as we wait, and I'm trying to do that to the best of my ability for myself, for you guys, and I'm trying to help you guys, and we need to pay attention to the overall market. If you want to involve yourself and step away from your 9-to-5 job and start trading, seriously, get in the Discord. The link is under the video, but more on that later. Let's talk about the overall market because we like to trade the SPY. So there is all of this stuff happening where people are thinking the economy is indefinitely collapsing, and also next week you have that government shutdown catalyst, which U.S. House of Republicans are floating a 2-step measure to avert a government shutdown next week. We'll see how that plays out. And then also you have that downgrade, which we talked about in yesterday's video. If you haven't seen that, make sure to go watch that. But the icing on the cake, hedge funds short U.S. financial stocks at near record levels, according to Goldman Sachs. Global hedge funds built bearish positions this week to the highest level in nearly 5 years without citing the underlying reasons. Before we get into banks, the S&P 500, I'm going to drop the ball right now and let you guys know. Feel free to quote me on this. If the SPY does not retrace tomorrow or the week to come and it keeps pumping, it is going to get absolutely smacked, backhanded at 444. If the SPY touches 444 without cooling off, it's getting slaughtered. Okay, you can quote me on that. I have this zone up here that this was my original goal for the SPY to come to early November, and that is playing out. I should have held my original calls till now. Either way, I made a nasty profit off of those. But seriously, the edge of the Bollinger Bands also lines up with 444. Also lines up with this resistance level back here on the S&P 500, where it got smacked all the way back down. Also lines up with other cycles that come up to this level and play out the exact same way. And this is a crucial level of resistance at 444 on the S&P 500. Now, putting all that aside, a lot of you stocks, what if it just retraces, right? Well, watch for a bounce at 435.90, or at least a hold on 435.90. Then I'd watch this trend line at 432.50, gap fill 430.85, another gap fill 423.60, and at that point I would be adding calls into the S&P 500 coming into this zone that I wanted it to retrace to, which is between 425 and 418. Overall, the SPY ripped yesterday, had larger volume than the sell-off, showing strength in the S&P 500, still has more room to run on the Bollinger Bands and the relative strength index. However, hedge funds are looking bearish, and there are a few negative catalysts that happened over the weekend as well as coming into this week. Speaking of what's happening this week, CPI inflation on Tuesday, PPI inflation on Wednesday, retail sales on Wednesday, New York Fed manufacturing index on Wednesday, jobless claims on Thursday, Philly Fed Manufacturing Index on Thursday as well, plus industrial production, and then Friday you have building permits and housing starts. Now, Wells Fargo has just refused to refund a customer after thousands of dollars allegedly exits their bank without authorization. Now, while this could be false, it's likely that it's true, especially with what's happening with banks and what's been happening with banks. Speaking of banks, big banks are quietly cutting thousands of employees and more layoffs are coming. Remember, specifically big banks. These ones have the most liquidity, and if they're cutting thousands of employees and have more layoffs coming over the horizon, something isn't looking well. And hedge funds, insiders, people on Wall Street know that. So get ready for a potential dump in bank stocks, which wouldn't really be good for the overall market either. Now, we have earnings this week for some important plays: Walmart, Home Depot, Target, Macy's. You can screenshot the rest of the list if you guys do care about them. We do post them in Discord as well. Finally, for the first time in years, crypto markets are beginning to see tons of new liquidity. Since November of 2022, crypto markets have added $600 billion in value. The crypto markets are looking insanely strong. I talked a little bit about that over the weekend as well. If you guys are in cryptos and are banking off it, let me know in the comments down below. I'm very happy for you. Finally, since we are on the topic of crypto, FTT, the FTX token, all of a sudden has $1.5 billion in market cap out of nowhere, while SBF is just sitting in prison. Overall, guys, to close out the video, make sure to pop in the Discord. The link is right under the video. Watch the 2 videos I uploaded over the weekend. Well, actually 3 videos, because we covered the prep for the trading challenge. If you guys are going to participate in that, go watch the prep video. It's 3 minutes long. Get yourself set up. I'm going to be taking trades on the random. In Discord, we have options trading alerts. We talk stocks all day long. We post gains, post losses, and overall just the best vibes in there. Plus, if you want up to 16 free stocks, each valued up to $2,000 per stock, use my link, sign up for Moomoo, fill out your information, and make a deposit just like you would Webull or Robinhood or E-Trade or any other broker. On top of that, you're getting free level 2 order book data so you can see where whales are loading up and dropping off shares, access to trading options, going long, going short, viewing other exchanges, and you're earning 5% on your cash that is uninvested, which is absolutely insane. So download Moomoo. They are trying to be the best broker out there. Both of those links are in the top of the description and pinned in the top of comments. Happy Sunday, guys. I love you. Let's make some money this week. Lottery Stocks out.